Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Girls, One TBR. We're picking up where we left off from our last episode, so I hope you enjoy this cute little episode of ours. Now, before Bookstagram gave us friends, chaos, and a TBR that could start its own library, but do you know what it also gave us? The sense that reading will never be simple again. Today, we're talking about things that we actually miss about being normal readers before the
hmm
algorithm knew our TBRs.
Yeah. Oh, my TBR is so long. It- okay, so to start off, where we talked about how I joined Bookstagram in the
Yes,
last episode. So
yes.
when I first joined Bookstagram, I was actually looking for books like ACOTAR because I had just finished ACOTAR and a few KU books like Pen Cole and stuff, and I was looking for those epic fantasies. So I was like on Bookstagram trying to get recommendations, and boy, did I get plenty of them. It just kept coming once you found your people, and
Absolutely.
my gosh,
Once you
so long now.
once you find the people that enjoy the same genre, or just in books itself, once you find your people, your TBR list explodes because
Yes.
then you're finding about so much more than even you yourself. Before
Yeah.
before we did all of this and started this journey, I never had more than just maybe a couple books on
Same.
my list, like on my Amazon
Yeah.
wish list of something I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
really
I'd
know.
maybe buy books. I'd buy books like at Barnes and Noble or wherever,
Yeah.
maybe like once a year,
Yeah.
like if that, or
Thank
Kindle or
I did Kindle. I did there for a while when I was reading Tess Gerritsen's books because I used to get them in hardback, and I had a whole bunch
okay.
of them. And then after I had my kids, because that's the lull, the time when I stopped
Yes.
reading,
That's when I
and
started again.
I did a couple Kindle and stuff books, and that's where I was reading some of those. But it's so weird because before all of this, there was no TBR. There really
Yeah.
was no TBR at all for
Neither
me.
did
Isn't
I.
that
I didn't
weird?
have one. Yeah.
It's
Like
very
I remember
strange.
looking out people would do the memes on Bookstagram and they'd say like, "Oh, my death till TBR, my TBR is so long," all this stuff. And I was like, I have 11 books. What do you mean? Like, it's not bad.
But I have to say too, when I would see TBR when I first started looking at things, because I was looking up specific books, because
Huh?
when I didn't start Bookstagram, I started ACOTAR at the end of August into September, and I didn't start Bookstagram until October. So I had that whole 6 weeks or
Yeah.
whatever, and I was looking just with my regular Instagram, for ACOTAR, and
Yes.
that's how I
Yeah. And I
discovered it.
wasn't really, yeah, I wasn't finding much.
And I didn't
Yeah.
Again, I didn't know, but I didn't know what TBR stood for.
Nope.
Again, all those abbreviations, I had
Yeah.
no idea, and I had to look them up. I didn't know what
Yeah.
any of it meant, and it
Yeah.
it really snowballed after that
Yeah.
fact.
It's kind of a double-edged sword in a way. Like, yes, I have found so many great books that I probably would have never
I agree.
read or known about, discovered, anything like that. So I do always try and give the book, you know, once over, twice over, just because I'm like, could this be one of those books that is better than it sounds kind of thing? So, because sometimes they're like wowers, and you're like, okay, I was not expecting that from,
Well, I remember, because like again, I was searching, for ACOTAR stuff because again, I did not know it was ACOTAR either at that point. It was
hmm
just a Court of Thorns and Roses
yeah,
I didn't realize any of that, and I started seeing just I think I had all of them because I bought all of them, I read them, and I remember I was thinking, "Well, what am I gonna read next?" And I bought 4 books, and they were each a beginning of a series. I bought
hmm
Guild by Raven Kennedy.
okay,
I bought, I have to think for a second. I got that one. I got Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa.
okay,
And I'm trying to think what the other, and I think I got Throne of Glass and I just set it there and I still haven't read it yet. I do have the book
yeah.
sitting there. And then one more. maybe it was The Witch Collector. I think I got 4 books, and I set them there, and they were on my desk because at that time I didn't have a bookcase.
Yeah.
I didn't have a bookcase. It was just on my desk, and I remember I had them stacked, and I remember my husband saying to me, he's like, "That stack's getting taller," because I had 5 ACOTAR, and then I had these other ones, and then
Yeah.
I started Guild, and that is, your dark romantasy, dark.
7. Yeah.
It's 6 books, and they're all. The
6.
first one's this thick, but then the rest of them are like that, and
Yeah.
I started reading it, and that even sent me further down the thing, and I've never looked back.
Yes, agreed.
But
I think we kind of read a lot of the same series that kind of led us
I think that's
here
how we
today.
found each
So,
other, because
yeah.
you and I are in the same wheelhouse. You have a little bit more, like a few other things that you like more so, but I think,
Yeah.
but we're
But
predominantly
like
romantasy, fantasy,
fantasies,
dark romance.
romantasies. Yeah.
I think that's why we bonded so much.
Yeah.
That's how we found each other. But just think though, if we hadn't done Instagram or did our Bookstagram, we would have never found each other.
I know.
Isn't that
Yeah.
weird?
So I have met a lot of really great people, but I know we talked about that in last episode.
But it's pretty neat. But now, before we were Bookstagrammers, we read without expectations back then. Now we have a
Yes.
little bit more expectation, I think, when we read.
Yeah. I
Because,
mean, that goes with a lot of stuff, right? I mean, ratings are probably a lot more different. Like I said before, like
yeah,
I would 5-star everything just because
yes,
it was a vibe. I enjoyed the book. I finished it. Great job. 5 stars. Then I discovered ratings and I was like,
yeah.
oh, okay, I guess I could critique it a little bit. I mean, so now I'm like 4 or 5 stars. I'm really not that picky.
Well,
But
but even before Bookstagram, I never thought of anything like to rate a book.
no,
I would read something. If I liked it, I would continue on. But I never
with a
thought,
series or
but then if,
an author,
yes.
yeah,
Now, if I read something and I just didn't really like it, because most of the time I would read all the way through. But again, everything I read pretty much, I kept going. But I never thought of anything of it. I never thought to say, well, I like this a lot or I don't like this. There was none of
yeah,
that. I didn't know what tropes were, all that kind of stuff. Now it was, that was a complete unknown. I didn't know what I was
yeah,
looking for. Most of the time I looked at a cover and read the back to see if it was something
yeah,
that interested me.
exactly. And I am a cover judger. I know you're not supposed to, but I definitely do.
Do
I'm sorry.
I
If it doesn't give me a good vibe, I don't know, it doesn't. I think that's also where Bookstagram has haunted me a little bit because sometimes it's not really a book that I would have picked or thought of, or the cover didn't like wow me, but then
yeah.
like people who review it. So Bookstagram is very important at the same time because then like the hype, you need the hype too to like tell you what they like, what they didn't like, and what to enjoy. And if you liked these and you'll like this and
Yeah.
it's like this, then I'm like, I like that. All right, I'll give it a try.
Well, with how you were saying with covers and stuff, because I think I'm a book cover snob in a lot of ways too. I still think indie covers. I will die on that
Yeah,
hill. I think they have some of the most beautiful covers
they
that are
do.
out there.
And I love a cover that has like hidden meanings in it.
Yes,
I'm a mystery person like that. So if you have a very intricate design and you're like, ooh, I wonder what those
with this
thorns
elements.
are about. Yeah.
Yes,
Or
yes.
did you see hidden in the picture of the eye, there's a reflection? Like
See,
sometimes you gotta look at your pictures
but see,
and see there's
would you have noticed that
meaning.
before?
Sometimes I see them. Sometimes I find them from people on Bookstagram where they're like, "Did you
Before,
see?"
but beforehand, before Bookstagram existed, did you
Yes,
notice all those kind of
I've
details before?
did like yes, I've done that. I really like but I think that's why I'm a cover snob, like you said. Like I judge a book by its cover because if it has some really intricate details and art and it draws me in to look at it that close to be like, All right.
Well,
Why is
there's
there a mysterious thing back here? What could that mean? I love books that have a lot of
yes. Oh,
layers
I agree.
and twist and mystery, along with adventure and fantasy and craziness. So, yeah. So, if there's little hints and nods for stuff, I
Well,
love that.
there's a few books that are out currently right now, and I can't think of what the name of the book is right now. And it's a very plain cover, and it has like a heart on it, like inside the body heart, and it's on the cover
Oh,
of it,
okay.
but it's very plain. Now, I have seen that people said it's a very good book, but prior to because now I look at it because I look at people's reviews and what people say. I I wouldn't necessarily pass on that book. But before Bookstagram, if I would have seen that book just on a shelf at the bookstore, because I would probably just walk past it because that cover wouldn't have interested me.
Yeah.
I
I think your
yeah,
cover should
draw you in.
tell your story. Like,
Yes.
be the synopsis. It should tell me what your book is about.
Well, it should
That's
draw you in.
important.
Because now
Yeah.
I showed you this before we started recording. Now this is just as an example. Now this is a book that I just got. It is Fairy Tale Retellings Volume 1 by Scarlett St. Clair. But I mean, but look at this. Now if you've seen this on a shelf, doesn't that draw you in? Look how pretty
Yes,
that
the
is.
colors
And
pop.
look,
You have detail.
look at
Yeah.
that.
I love purple, so I'm a sucker
And
for
look at
purple.
look at how pretty inside.
Oh,
And look
yeah.
at this. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that foiling.
A sea axe. Vikings.
It's just so pretty, isn't it? But I mean, but if you saw this on a shelf now, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
thinking
I
of
would
my past
be
self.
drawn to it
I would be drawn to it.
and look into it and read
Yes.
the synopsis and things like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Okay. So with that, did you ever read reviews of books
No.
before? Like if you saw a book like that, I never like looked it up to see like what the reviews were or if it was popular
Yeah,
or on Book Talk or
I never looked at because I didn't really have Goodreads. I have had Goodreads. I think it's set on there. I've had it since 2022, but I never
uh
used it until in this recent time, since all this started.
yeah.
But even then, I don't think I understood what it was. It's not that I didn't understand, but I just didn't maybe care as much or know what I'm
Yeah, like
saying? It wasn't
if I
important.
vibed,
Yeah.
I was reading it. Like it didn't have to have 5-star reviews, percentage wise, or ratings on Goodreads
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Amazon
I don't think I read them on Amazon
sponsored,
either. I think when I got different books, I don't think I ever read the reviews or anything on Amazon. But most of the time,
me
I like
neither.
to go into the bookstore and I would just, because it would be whatever cover I was drawn to
Yeah.
in the genre that at the time I was interested in. I would go to that section and I would find a
Yes.
cover that stood out to me. Then I would read
hmm
the back, and if the synopsis seemed interesting, that's how I purchased it. But
Me
nothing
too.
compared to how I purchase things today.
Nope.
It's
And
completely
I
different.
never bought books online before.
How interesting.
Yeah, I want to say I've not like if it was I want to say even Barnes and Noble, I never bought them or pre-ordered them to be sent to my house. Maybe like a few of them. I remember when like Harry Potter
Yeah,
4 came out and my aunt she pre-ordered it for me and it came in the mail. And I think that's when Amazon was like new.
interesting.
And it came, and I was like, "Wow, that's really weird." Because you would go to the bookstore. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm probably dating myself now, but I wanna say, like, I had never purchased for the longest time, would not buy books from Amazon, and then as I saw on Bookstagram too, like, how they destroy their books. They just, like,
yeah,
throw it in with, like, a whole bunch of other items that you had maybe, and they toss it around,
yeah.
comes all lopsided and pages everywhere, and so, like, I really don't like to buy books unless someone's gonna wrap them nicely like our indie authors do or the author websites. I will buy them from them because I know it's gonna come bubble wrapped and pretty and with all the little
That's
goodies they love to
understandable.
send with them. Yeah, so,
I do have to say though,
that's
in
new for me
recent
though.
times though, because most of mine I've ordered either from from Barnes& and Noble or I've ordered from Amazon, they have been coming in pretty good shape. I haven't had any issues,
Good.
but I've noticed though, like a lot of times with my books, it's the only thing I have ordered that's coming. It's not like it's coming with something else,
That is good.
but they've been putting a lot more paper and stuff around them. So they are getting maybe
Maybe
a little
they've
more
been
conscious of it.
yeah.
Maybe they've had a
Well
lot of returns, and people are like,
well,
hey,
I
our books
do.
are like this.
Yeah. I will go on there and return them. I don't care because I'm
And,
like, this is ridiculous.
well,
I just
yeah,
hope the author gets their money and it's not like a loss to them.
I would hope not.
But I hope not. I hope it's Amazon's fault. So
I'd say it's something
I
with
don't mean that
Amazon.
like but come on, treat books nice.
These indie books that we're getting in at, they're print on demand. So
Hmm.
they just get
They
printed
are.
right then. So
Hmm.
hopefully it would be an Amazon claim or something that they would have
Yeah, like
because it's
printing
Amazon that's printing
incorrectly.
them. But that is something though.
All new.
It was all
Had no
completely
idea.
completely different. Now I still don't do this. Now, like a lot of people compare their reading speed of how fast they read books and
Mm,
stuff. I read with my own pace of what I
yeah,
want. I don't like some people like they read really fast and they want to be on top of like, all of no, I don't do
I
that.
know.
But I never did that. So that part I
It's
guess in me did
stressful.
not change.
Yeah, I remember feeling that way when I first started Bookstagram,
Mm.
and then my TBR started growing. And I remember feeling anxious that I wasn't reading fast enough. And all these people had all these book reviews out, and they would have like 2 or 3 a week. And I was like, how do you have
Oh,
time
that's a lot.
to read that much? And then, a lot of times they are reading like the contemporary romances that are like
Yeah, they're thinner.
300 or less.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I'm reading, fantasy that's 500 or more. So I guess in a way it kind of evened out where I was like, okay, if I did like one book every 10 days, that's like their three, I guess. But I did. So I did feel like pressure to read faster at first. Now I don't give two F's, but
Now, I guess I was more like when I first started, I was trying to read every single day, but
yeah.
I can't do that. I have determined in my life, I try to read at least every night. I try to read, but that doesn't
Mm,
happen. But before I felt like
yeah.
the pressure to read every night. And I don't even know
Yes.
if I want to call it pressure because it's not like
I will
anybody was saying it
say
to me, but you know what I mean.
no. But you feel like you have to pump out review like, you have
Yeah.
this Bookstagram now that people wanna see what you're reading, and yeah, like, how do
Yeah.
you do that? Like, how do you make graphics, reviews, put them all up, read, and, like, I feel like every time I have, like, a second to myself, I'm like, "I need to be reading." I do, I feel like that some days where I'm like, "Oh, I haven't read this book yet, like, it's not done yet, like, I need to get this done, like, I
Yeah.
this arc is
But
due."
now, and before this, you didn't feel this way because there
No.
was no pressure because it was just what
No.
you were
I
doing yourself.
I would read a book for 2 months,
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. I know, I understand 100% with it. Now that's the same thing, like then not seeing this not seeing everything through the algorithm lens. Because when
Yeah.
we look at things now, we're looking at, well, by doing this, is the algorithm on Bookstagram, on BookTube, Book Talk, all of those things, is it going to actually go through the algorithm? Before that, I didn't know what that meant. I still don't
I didn't
understand the
either.
algorithm.
No,
Try
I haven't no, it changes so much, like, by the time you try something new, it changes again, and I'm sorry, but this
before.
is my hobby. This
Yes.
is, like, something I wanna enjoy too, and I did start to feel overwhelmed when I first started Bookstagram to
Yeah.
do all the things and try to be not viral, but like, try to get myself out there because I wanted people to see what I was reviewing. Otherwise, why am I putting all of this information on a slide and posting it if only 4 people saw it? So I was like, that's a waste of my freaking
Oh, yeah,
time.
because you don't, when you're first starting, you really don't know what you're doing, you know? And, you would get I remember I was excited when, like, 20 some people saw my picture
Yeah.
that I posted. I'm like, "Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people," I remember thinking. And now if I have that happen, I'm like, "Oh, that's so sad. Why is it only this much? What did I do
Yeah.
wrong? What did I do
Yeah.
wrong
I need
in
more
creating it?"
views. Yeah.
Now I mean, I consistently stay in the hundreds, you know, like,
That's really good.
our one video clip that we did the other day, we had 1,200 views.
Yeah. See, to me, that's successful. Where other people would be like, that's not enough engagement. And, you need viral views. And I'm
I
like,
don't know what I would do if we get to a point that people know us so well and that we're getting like 30, 40, 50,000 views. That'll be an exciting day. I'm excited that we are almost to 50 subscribers on YouTube. We have
yeah, that's
49 right now.
awesome. I'm ecstatic.
But if you take 49 people and you put them in a room, that's a lot of people.
Yes, you're talking in front of 50 people. That's an auditorium. That's like a classroom setting. College. Hit subscribe.
Did we had a whole thought process, is this Bookstagram approved? Like before, I
Hmm.
never thought when I would post something, is Bookstagram going to like it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
never there was because I didn't post anything. I didn't There
Right.
was
Like
none of
popular
those
books.
thoughts.
Yeah. Like I feel like if I post a book that's not as popular or seen,
Mhm.
because that's on the algorithm, right? Like a new, let's say like Alcatar 6 came out and
Yes.
everyone's posting about it. Well, you got to post about it so that you get on the algorithm and you get seen. Because if you're going to post an indie author that week while Akatar's active, you're not getting seen. So it feels a little daunting because you're still like, but look at my
We
awesome book.
and also too, you have to, you know, because Bookstagram can be kind of mean in a lot, it sometimes, because you might want to post something about a book that you really like, and then other people do not like it, and then
Yeah.
they will kind of not be as nice with it. Now, again, we haven't,
Yeah.
myself personally, I haven't had
I haven't
anybody be
seen
mean
anything
on there,
lately, but
but you do
yeah,
see it though.
like there are wars.
Well, there is. But now, of course, well, we talked about the covers, books. Did you judge books by the content itself, not the aesthetic, not looking at the outside of the book? Do you think beforehand you judged what you were reading as much as you judge now?
No,
No.
definitely not. I mean, even still today, like I am not a literary major. I enjoy just reading books. So I don't understand point of views or if a book was not written correctly or how people get a little weird about that. If things seem out of order, like or
Well, a lot of people, they
um
go after the grammar or they go over
yeah, I don't care about that stuff.
punctuation. They seem to get upset about
Nah.
it. Just now for me, it just depends on how it's written.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going in and telling them, well, they didn't put a comma there or anything like that. If I read something and it's just how it's written and I didn't like how it was written, that doesn't necessarily mean it was poorly written. Just for
No.
me, I didn't
Right.
prefer the style, I guess we'll go with.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
I
and
never thought of
some
that before.
authors, you all have that internal
Yes.
voice in your head. So some authors, like I just started a new arc and just the way it's written, I'm like, I can hear her thoughts like the way she's writing
Yes.
it. It's really cool, I think, when you can do that. But some people talk differently than you do, especially when they write. And so it takes a while for me to get into that
Hmm.
in their like vibe of writing. Some people I'm like, I can't get into it. I can't pick it up. And whether that's because they didn't authentically put down what they were thinking, I don't know. Maybe we just don't have the same thought process. Who knows?
But it
But
is
that works out for me.
it is interesting because before I never thought of that, or
I never thought of it that way.
I didn't
Yeah.
have that same thought process. And I probably back then, before all of this, I probably would have read a book all the way through, even if I didn't like it necessarily
Hmm.
then.
Yeah.
Now I know it's okay to not read a book all the way through
Yes.
if you don't like it,
Or
because there's so
Or
many
I'd be the
books.
person where it, like, sat on your nightstand for, like,
Yes.
months, and then you finally put it away because you're like, "I'm not gonna read that."
Yep.
Like, that was, like, our soft DNF back in the day before Bookstagram, where you're like, "Nope, get it out. I gotta get on to the next one." Um,
But
just
it's
before it was,
interesting
like,
though.
not read for a while, and I lost interest, and it
It's
would go on the
weird.
shelf for another day, and
But isn't
Go
it
back
weird,
to
though,
it.
how different we are with how our
Oh,
reading
yeah.
is? Now, also another thing is we did not understand that there were book drama. We didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was all kinds of drama going on behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
don't remember, like, even, like, reading online because that was something I didn't look for, you know,
Yeah.
like, there's this drama stuff occurring, no idea. I had no idea there were author controversies, there were fandom wars, like,
Yeah.
because this person particular
I
liked this
just
character and not this character,
yeah.
no idea. The
I
internet is an
remember
interesting place.
it really is.
Yeah,
Back when Twilight came out, Facebook, I think, was new.
Facebook and
And
probably MySpace is probably going on
yeah, I
during
had a
that time.
MySpace in high school, okay?
Yep.
That's how old we are. And I remember Edward versus the wolf, Jacob.
Oh, that was a
And I
big thing.
remember going to Hot Topic at the mall and getting my shirt. And then I had my roommates in college read the book too.
Yes.
And then they were Team Jacob and I was Team Edward. And we had like our little, like, oh, I'm team. And I love doing that to books. Like if there is like a triangle kind of thing going on, I love doing the teams and like, whose team are you?
But some
And I
people
didn't
take that
realize like some people take it so far.
serious. Oh, yeah.
Like this whole like Asriel book, if it is Asriel's book coming out, and the Gwen and Elaine
Yes.
thing going on. Oh
People
my
are
gosh.
very
Do not put your opinion if you're not ready for the hash.
wait,
'Cause it
because
will come.
just like with Chelsea and I doing the ACOTAR, the mini series that we've been doing, because we
Mm-hmm.
have the different theories and stuff. People get very upset if you suggest things that are not what they think.
Yeah.
Especially with Azrael, especially mentioning that it's possible that Rhysand possibly had another child and
No.
stuff. And just that, I mean, people in the fandoms, they get
Yeah.
very
Like
upset. But that
protective.
is that
Yeah.
is one. I mean, right there, ACOTAR, how people are. Like if you say anything about Lucian, with Elaine versus
Mm.
Azrael, because people are very
Mm-hmm.
pro Azrael for her. I am not.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that out there. I am not. I want her to be with Lucian. Lucian, I
I do too.
I think he truly is her person.
They
She's
are
just
mates. But I also feel like SJM is going to come at us with that clause of the mating bond where you can reject it. And I have this feeling that she's going to do something with
I think
that.
she's going to end up alone if she does this. I think if she leaves,
Okay.
if she says no to poor Lucian and his whirly eye, and I think Azrael, even though he says whatever, I think Gwen is his person. I really think, or it's
Yeah.
someone that has yet to appear. It could be, but
Okay.
Gwen is, I'm leaning.
Gwen could be a fling.
She could be, I don't know. There's different things in the theories with her. But
Okay.
I think that it's very possible that Tamlin is her father. You tell people those things as well, people get upset, just so you know. But people get very, very serious about it.
Yeah.
These fictional
And that's
characters come
another
to
thing.
life for them.
Well, and okay, talk about theories, right? Like people get really into deep diving now. And I had no idea there was such
Well, I don't think I
things
ever deep dived any
before
book.
Bookstagram. I mean, I may have like Googled stuff and like, especially pictures, like I would like Google images of the book, people, and I would do that. And then, sometimes you'd find like a random YouTube where people are talking about a theory or something and be like, oh, that's interesting. Now, like after Fourth Wing came out and people were chatting about what would happen next, I love it.
Oh, I
I
do
like
too.
that stuff because like I said, I like the layers, I like the mystery, I like the thinking process.
I
Like
like
I
this.
want to think about a book after it's done.
I like the
So I'm a theory
speculation.
person.
I like the speculation because just because like I remember I read ACOTAR. I hadn't, and I only recently read Crescent City. So I had no idea that Crescent City answered so many questions that I had. But when I started the
Yes.
deep dive, doing that part with Chelsea, doing our little mini series, and I started with and started looking up and realizing how many theories there are out there for
My
all the.
gosh, yeah.
And again, people either
Well,
are for the theories or the
yeah.
certain theories they get people all riled up. But before
Yeah.
before all this, I had no idea any of this existed.
Yeah.
No,
And Akatar actually has been out for 10 years or
I believe
so.
it's
Like
10. I think it
it's
was 10 years last May.
yeah.
So it's 11 years, I
So
think, this coming
it's been
year.
around a long time. There's been a lot of people reading it that, have been thinking about these things for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah. But
So yeah,
again, it
it's fun.
amazes me. Now, since I've read Crescent City, that has opened the door to so many more theories now. So I hope people continue to
Yes.
listen to our ACOTAR miniseries because it's going to get even deeper.
Yep. I told you.
But now this is something they say, like, I read purely for joy back then, but I read purely for joy still because this is like my happiness.
Yes.
I don't
Finding the
think that
joy.
I don't think I think I lost the joy because I used to
I
read
did for
all
a
the
little
time.
while.
When you have children, when they're really little in
Yes.
that time period, because I had 3 within 5 years, and money was tighter then and that kind of thing. I
Mhm.
didn't have that outlet to read and stuff. Even though I had prior, I just didn't have the time
Yeah.
to do something special for myself.
Right.
I was worried about, what my kids needed. I was worried about making sure, my husband was taken care of and getting
Yeah.
dinner, and just all of the entire world was on my shoulders. You don't realize
Yeah.
as a mom how much is on you. As a
Yeah.
wife and a mom, how much.
I think that's why I started
Yeah,
feeling so,
you get
like,
overwhelmed.
overwhelmed with it all because I was like, I need to finish this book or my arcs. And, I wanted so many arcs and I was like, I
Yep.
don't know if I can finish this in time. Yeah.
But now since I've
The
gotten back
pressures.
into it, and then my husband's now, he realizes this is where my joy is. He doesn't understand it because because he likes video games and stuff like that. But this is my joy, and he has just whatever books I want, and he buys them because you seen over Christmas he bought me 30 some books.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
so
supporter's a supporter. I
that's a
love it.
supporter. He found, and now I have a bookcase beside me and with 100, I think I have 130 some books on it now.
Yeah. Okay, guys, one day this will be books.
Like,
I'm waiting for my bookshelf.
I need to turn myself around instead of seeing into my
Er,
bedroom, have that my
Yeah.
bookcase is my background. I have to get
Hmm.
a different little, not my desk, but have a stand so you all can see my bookcase.
Yeah.
It's fancy because I have all kinds of doodads on it and miniatures
Yeah.
and
See,
candles.
I have like bins of stuff that I need that I just keep collecting, and one day they'll be on a shelf.
I got my bookcase, I bought it on Amazon when it was on sale, and it's a crescent moon.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a
Don't
second
know.
one for on this side of me, but not as big. I can't do as big of one, but a skinnier one
Mhm.
to go up there. But then
Mhm.
again, before Bookstagram, what was I thinking of buying bookcases? Absolutely not. Again, this
Yeah.
is our life prior. It's like it was a whole nother lifetime ago, is how it
Yeah.
feels in a lot of
In my
ways.
my old house, I converted the kids' cubby, like at Target, those little cubby
Yes.
bins that you
Yes.
get. They didn't need it at the time, so I converted it into my bookcase, and I think I might do that again. But right now it has their books in it, so I feel like that's also important. I've got to promote the books to the boys.
Well, you have to. Well, I'll tell you, with my kids, they're not so much like they don't want to have a physical copy since they are all like they have, their tablets and stuff like that. I think
Yeah,
they
they're
will.
digital.
I think that seems to be more where if they want to have a book or something, they like a digital version.
Yeah.
They don't want to
Yep.
hold a book. Like, I want to smell a book. I want to
Mm,
hold it in my hands. I want
yes.
when I read, that's why, like, I know at some point I will have to do Kindle at some point because
Yeah.
I will run out of room. But I do. I have room still on my big bookcase, but I have my other bookcase that's in the hallway. It's a smaller, shorter one.
Mhm.
Both shelves are empty right now. So I have lots of room. So I have this,
Okay.
and then if I do another skinny one here, and then I can have a lot of
Yeah.
books.
I think when I get bookcases again, they're going to be stuffed. Like I have no idea how people decorate their bookshelves and they dedicate like a lot of space to those like book dragon insert things,
Those are really pretty,
or they're really cool and I would love that, or like bookends and
but it
stuff
does
like that, but I'm like,
takes up a lot of room,
that's
real
book
estate.
space, people. how do you have room
Now
for this stuff?
I would do that at the top of my bookcase because it's open.
Yeah,
I would do that because then I could have it and it would hold my books up there.
yeah,
I would possibly do, but I like more of the little tiny things that are on my bookcase.
yeah. And
Like
you can put them like in front of the books
I
or on
have
top of them.
I have miniatures. I have my little sweet cereal. He sits in front of my
Yeah,
ACOTAR
I want to get
books.
one of those
You
one
need
day.
to get him.
I need to.
I just
People
love him.
3D print those a lot. I just
I think he was like
need to find someone to do it.
I think he was like $15 on Amazon, something like that. I find a lot of different I have collected a lot of things over the years because I used to have a china closet and I had all kinds of little pretty different things. But I like the darker aesthetic of things. So like my candles, they're like the black smokiness with the light. I want to, in front of me here, I want to get those sconces that look like black hands that are coming out of the
Mm,
wall to set the candle on
that'd
because
be
that's
cool.
my
You know what I
vibe.
like? Are those books that are lamps that you like
Oh, I know what you
insert into your bookshelf
are.
they
Are you
yeah.
talking about the ones that are like a diorama? Is it diorama? Is that the right word? When
Is that the
it's like
word for
I
it?
don't know if that's the right
Like it
word,
looks
but
like a
it's like a
book.
scene,
It is a book.
but it's a scene
Like
inside it.
no,
Oh,
but
this
those
is
are cool
different.
too.
Yeah,
No, it's like a actual like insert the book here into your bookshelf. But inside, it's not the actual book. It's the electronics for
for the light net.
like a sconce light.
I
Yeah.
would have something like that on my shelf.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture
You'll have to send
on
me a picture.
Instagram.
I
Yeah.
now on my bookcase, I have 7 candles of one kind. I have a jar that lights up with fairy lights in it, and I have another candle on it. I like candles and fairy lights. That's my thing. I do the dark aesthetic.
It's the vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that's different too. Even when I look back at myself, I used to do all like light wood. I did whites. I did pastels. That was
Yeah.
my whole look I used to do. And then now after all these years, I've really come back into really myself because I think
Your
I would do that
gothic
too.
stage.
Well, I always liked to wear black, always growing up. And then I
Yeah.
remember my mom would yell at me and I needed some color. And I think I did that to please her, to please other
Mhm.
people in my life. I did. And I would dress the way other people wanted me to dress, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. And
Mhm.
now I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm this age and I'm going to wear black every day
Yeah.
because it
Exactly.
doesn't matter. I live in Kentucky and it's as hot as can be in the summer. I will still wear black.
I remember
I'm not a color person.
my mom never bought me anything black. She wouldn't do that when I was in school.
Hmm.
She was like, "No, no black. You're going to be that gothic
Now
vibe
I
girl
will
or,
wear it.
with the piercings and the
I,
tattoos." And guess what? I have piercings and tattoos anyways.
well, I'm telling you, as time goes on, you're going to see my background and stuff will change here because I have seen some
Really
things
cool.
on Amazon and also at
Mm,
Hobby Lobby. They have who would think Hobby
yeah.
Lobby, but they have some dark things. The like at Halloween and stuff and that you can find some really
Oh, yeah.
gothic, interesting. I want that dark academia, dark
Mm,
that kind of stuff. And
love academia.
I've seen some
Yeah.
really good stuff. I have some interesting lists on Amazon. I'll have to show you some of the stuff I found.
Nice.
But again,
Yeah.
but look at how different even that
Yeah.
many years
You
ago
know,
how we've changed.
yeah.
And I think books have allowed us to become more who we are. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like whimsy stuff.
Hmm.
Uh cottage core I've learned is a term.
Mm,
Uh yeah, look that up.
interesting.
And yeah, so that's like I like cozy fantasy, but like also like dark stuff.
Yeah.
Like I like a lot of
Maybe it's because we have found our people, because
yeah.
you and I, like, we'll just take us for example, we both like the same kind of things and stuff. So it has allowed us to be ourselves with each other. It is
Yes. Yeah.
allowed us, we're not going to judge each other for what each other likes and that kind of thing, because
Yeah.
we do like similar things and stuff.
Yeah, but
But
you can
we've
also
allowed ourselves to be ourselves, not with what everyone else thinks we should be. So books have done that
yes.
for us. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Found my people
Yeah.
to be myself with my books that I
Yes.
like.
Because
Correct.
even like when I look at myself when like I'll talk to like one of my friends from like high school or something like that, I kind of hide this part of me a little bit more. Not, I don't want to say hide, but they don't read like the books that we read and stuff like that. And it's not that I don't think they're necessarily judging that per se, but sometimes it can feel like you're not the same person with them as you are with your book, where I feel like I'm more myself, if that makes sense. It feels
Yeah.
my normal self. This is me. But with
Yeah.
them, I have to feel a little guarded. And it's not like they're going to go and yell at me or something, but you know what I mean.
They yeah, I feel like once you join, like, the book world of Bookstagram and you learn all the terms and
Yes.
you learn the genres and what certain books entail,
Yeah.
like, it is kinda like those memes where you see someone you hear someone talk about this book in public, and you kinda, like, perk up
Oh,
and you're like,
yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
you are a booksta person, or a book talk person, and I could vibe with you because now we have like a lingo and genres that we like. And yeah, I have friends that read and they come to me and they're like, "Hey, I've been reading Fourth Wing. What else should I read?" And I'll give them, recommendations and they read books that I read, but I just feel like they're not
They're not quite into it,
like
quite like what me.
immersed.
Yes.
So, yeah, like theory, talk or character art reveals and things like that. Like they probably wouldn't get like a big like hype like I would about
What
stuff.
would I have a giant poster on my wall of Cassian from ACOTAR?
Mm,
Absolutely. Would my
mm.
husband accept it? Not necessarily. But would I? And would I be ashamed that I had him on my wall? Absolutely not. But now, like people like some of my friends, I just can't see them doing that. Like, I don't think
Yeah,
they would let that part of their world be exposed to everybody. They like if there is any part of that, they keep it very closed what they read. It's odd. I think Bookstagram has let me be more free with my
yeah,
book love that I have. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know any other way to
I
put it.
never used to talk to
No.
people about a lot of stuff I read,
No.
like a book club maybe, but I don't know, like, I feel like the Bookstagram world, book talk world, you can kinda, like, get more into what you like and didn't like or vibes and
You can actually have a real like conversation of the book. It's not just saying
yeah,
to somebody that like so and so I'm reading this, and then that would be the end of the conversation. They'd be like, "Oh,
yeah,
that's nice you're reading that." And then they would move on or say what they're reading. But here it's so much more community. It's so much more that you
yeah,
find your people, you vibe and you discuss your books together.
yeah,
Even if you have differentiating feelings of a different book and stuff. It's
yeah,
still that they still talk. I like it,
yeah,
but
yeah,
that's different than before Bookstagram.
yeah, same.
Um, Now the other thing too is like I didn't know anything about captions or to quote like that. Probably the only quote that always sticks in my mind is always from
Yeah,
Dracula is I crossed oceans of time to find you. If my husband said that to me,
no.
that would make me swoon.
Quotes over my head. I remember when that was like a big thing, like people would post quotes all the time, and I'm not a quote person. Like that doesn't do it for me. If you post the quotes about your book, I'm like, no, this tells me nothing about your book.
Because
Sorry.
you don't have the context and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just not a quote person. I know a lot of people eat that up and they love that, but I'm also not an annotator. Like I have tried my best to annotate books and I'm not pretty with it, or I try and it's just not. I don't
Annotate
know. I
certain
over
books.
highlight or I don't know how to make it look pretty or
Oh, that's why I
I don't
do
know.
the little tabs, the little sticky
Yeah.
tabs. I don't damage my books by
No,
writing in
I
them or
that was like
highlighting.
a that was taboo for me. Like
Yeah.
writing in books,
Oh yeah.
people write in their books.
Yeah, I still
Like
don't do
what?
that. I like to
Yeah,
keep mine as
I've
pristine
tried.
as possible. And then
Me
I
too.
just I just do the stickers. I do these. This is what I have.
Yeah.
Um, I'll get out of my desk. See, I get these. You can get them on Amazon. Would I have
Mhm.
know these things existed prior to
Nope.
this? No,
And
didn't know.
color coordinated to
Oh,
your cover.
oh yeah, because I think I bought a pack. I think there's like 30 of them or something like that, and they're all different colors so they can match with my book
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
or the vibe that I'm
That's a thing.
feeling with it. But I
And
like,
highlighters, you have to
yes.
have the highlighters that match the book cover color and the tabs and the pen to draw little doodles and stuff
Oh,
like
and you
that.
have to buy specific highlighters. You just don't go and buy
That
a,
don't bleed.
yes, you have to get the
Yes.
kind that do for like thin tissue paper. You know how like a Bible, that thin paper,
Yeah.
you get the
Mm-hmm.
kind that are made for that.
Very
Then
transparent.
very
Yeah.
transparent, and you have to get the real fine point pens
Yeah.
in
Otherwise
colors.
it's a blob. And then if I highlight something and it goes down in the other line, and I'm like, no, I can't underline this.
Now I use my stuff for more like my planner and things like that, but in my
Yeah.
books itself, I do the little sticky things, those little tabs, because like I like to mark certain moments, like especially when I was doing Crescent City, because there were moments in the as I was reading it that was like moments for me. And so I had my tabs and I was sticking them any place that I had it. But now I'm reading Bloody Black by Rhiannon Haggerty. That's the one I'm reading right now. But look,
Yeah, that one.
I don't
Oh,
annotate.
yeah,
That
I don't.
I don't have that one. It's
I'm too
not
busy
one.
reading the
It's
book.
it's good.
That and then I have little kids, like little kids. So anytime I sit down and have to gather these things, they do not stay where they are supposed to stay put. So, like, if I have to get up and help a kiddo with something, I could come back and the book's one area and the pens are being drawn on the wall and the highlighters under the table somewhere.
You see, I am fortunate enough that my kids they're big enough that they
Don't
don't
touch your
touch my
shit.
stuff, because they have no interest in my books in here so much. 'Cause again, they're more like their dad. They like video games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, they don't touch it. They don't come in here and they don't touch any of my
that's
books
nice.
or any.
It's very
But you
nice.
got to remember, mine are 10, 12, and 15. You have to remember, you give
Yeah.
yours a couple more years, they won't have
Yeah,
any interest in touching your
I
stuff.
know.
Just right now,
I
they're
know.
little and they're like, ooh. I remember when
Yes.
several years ago, when we moved into our house, I had all the boxes packed and I had a Sharpie because I was writing on all the boxes what room they go into, what is in the
Mhm.
box. And I had left it out and I couldn't find it. And I seen my daughter had taken it. Thank God it was only on the boxes and she was drawing people on the boxes with it. Thank God it wasn't on anything
I
that I
know.
had to paint or something,
They're
because
sneaky.
very
Yeah.
sneaky, and
I
I
get
didn't even
really
suspect it.
yeah, I lock the door where my books are because I've walked in before and they, like, are close
What
to
did
getting into things.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
because
"No!"
you have
Or, "Thank
trophy
God that
ones.
wasn't a special edition." Yeah, exactly. So my special editions are, like, tucked away,
Now that's
locked door.
okay. Now this is something else I didn't know about special editions,
No
and I
idea.
didn't know any
Trophies?
trophies,
Yeah, shelf trophies?
and I didn't know
That's
about
newer.
sprayed edges either. I
Well,
never
that I feel like is a newer
A newer
thing
thing,
in the last couple
but
years,
still,
maybe 2 years, 3
I
years
wouldn't have
ago?
known. When we look at our friend
Yeah,
Cassandra, Cassandra's has absolutely one of the most beautiful libraries.
yeah, I think
She
it's full of sprayed
it's
edge.
all I think. I don't know if she has any that are not sprayed
Are
edges.
not, yeah, I
And
don't think
it's
so.
beautiful. Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's gorgeous. She has
Yeah,
the giant, bookcase and stuff in her office area, and she has the rolling ladder, and then she had another library built in another
no,
room of her house because she has so many. She's over 1,000 books.
yeah,
So she
yeah, it's
is a
amazing.
library, and she's again amazing with her
Yeah,
books. But again, I didn't know anything about any of that.
no,
Sprayed edges,
and when I
special
first
editions.
started, I was like, "I'm just gonna keep to my Kindle." And then I started seeing these really pretty books, and I'm a sucker for a cover that's
Yes.
really good. And then, then it just ended up being like, "Oh, okay, well, I really, really liked that book. It was 5 stars,
Yeah.
like, I would totally recommend." And then it was, like, another one, and then it was another one, and then it was, like, giveaways and Kickstarters to get these, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, Kickstarter, wow, I could get all these, like, whole series of their stuff, and it's special edition, and it's supporting indie authors." I'm like,
It's amazing.
"Yeah,
I mean, again, that is something else. And of course, we were saying we had a small TBRs list then, or even if we even had a TBR list. My
Yeah.
TBR list now is at almost 400 books. If I go on Goodreads right now, I believe that's what it's at. It's 300 and something is what I have. Because,
Yeah.
I keep, seeing, because again, Bookstagram, because that's where the majority of those books that are on my
Mhm.
TBR, I saw them on Bookstagram. I seen somebody
Yeah.
recommending them, or
Mhm.
it's an author that now that I have fell completely in love with, I love it, and I know when they have other books, and I have all that marked down. Again, that didn't exist then.
I know.
None of that did. So, and I never had a spreadsheet or have like a list. I didn't
Yeah.
have, there was no
Like an
pen.
idea of like, "Oh, I need to read that one after that." Oh my gosh.
Knowing like that there's a book coming out, like the next book in a series, I never
Mhm.
even knew the dates
Yeah.
when they were coming out. It was just like one day I went to the bookstore and was like, another book came
Oh,
out, and then I would get
yeah.
it or something like that.
Yeah.
But there
Exactly.
was no knowledge on any of that
Mm-mm.
stuff. Isn't it just so weird how our life
Yeah,
was even 2 years ago
yeah.
versus now?
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's
It
really strange.
That's the part that gets me. I don't know.
Yeah, and you can't go back.
No, you can't. Once you've done this and you're in this world now has you, I guess.
Yep.
Well, let me ask everybody out there, what is the one thing you miss about reading before Bookstagram? Or if you're new, what are you the most afraid that you'll miss? Tag us, at Two Girls One TBR, or DM us and let us know what your thoughts are.
So, well, in the next episode, when we see you next, we'll be talking about the one where Bookstagram changed how we read and how we had to protect our joy. So, a
Yeah.
little bit more on finding that joy again after all this chaos that we have found, and all this knowledge that has been stuffed in our brains. But also, we're going to talk about our authors. We want to start bringing authors on to talk about books,
Yes.
either their book, books that they're reading, fantasy books that they like that we like, maybe. So a lot of things to come in this year's
Oh yes, we
seasons.
have we have a lot of plans for the podcast this year. But next week we did an announcement. You'll see it on our Bookstagram page that we have opened our author spotlight, however you want to call it, to come onto the podcast. That opens on February 4th. So keep an eye on our page for that, and you'll be able to see where you can fill out our form to be on the podcast.
Yeah,
So it's
I'm
an
excited.
exciting year.
Yeah, we want to talk to more people about books. So
Yes.
we're bringing more people into the conversation now.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
And I think it'll be super fun. So thanks for hanging with us on this little mini blast of nostalgia. Don't forget to share your thoughts on our Instagram. Watch us on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you listen to us, because we want to hear all the old people that we are, how we feel versus before versus now. So
Yeah,
good night, book
fun
babes.
times. See you later.
Bye.